By PlayStation 5.
Welcome to NBA Today. I'm Malika Andrews. And if you love hoops, heck, if you love sports, tonight is one you circle because it could mark the beginning of LeBron's historic 23rd season in the NBA. Now, the four-time champ, he has missed the Lakers' first 14 games with sciatica. That's a first for him in his 23-year NBA career. There is no one else we would rather be with than our Shams Charania, our senior insider here. Are we going to see LeBron tonight, Shams?
Malika, sources tell me LeBron James is aiming and wants to make his season debut tonight at home against the Utah Jazz. I'm told he will go through his normal pregame routine on game day. That means his pregame nap, his pregame on-court workout before a final determination is made. So he still has some boxes to check before he starts his record 23rd NBA season. But my understanding is LeBron James is itching to get back out on the court, potentially tonight. He's motivated and eager to join a surging Lakers team. They're not going to do anything to risk anything short-term happening pregame. But his goal when he enters Crypto.com Arena tonight is to get back out on the floor and play in tonight's game.
It sounds like all signs right now are pointing to LeBron James making his debut for his 23rd NBA season. We will all have a seat to history when LeBron takes the floor. Shams, thank you very much here, because he will be the first player ever to suit up for 23 seasons, let alone right at this level. He's already the all-time leading scorer. He's won 4 titles. There's the light. MVPs, is a record holder for most All-NBA, All-Star selections, and a 75th anniversary team member. And that's just a short summary of what he's accomplished. And he's not done yet, right? Here are just some of the milestones that he can reach this season alone. He's just under 1,000 minutes away from becoming the first player with 60,000. He needs to play in 50 games to pass Robert Parrish for that all-time mark. And he's just 2 triples away from passing Reggie Miller for 6th on the three-point list. Now, LeBron, he spoke yesterday about how he's feeling since rejoining the team. Take a listen.
I mean, as expected. Obviously, my lungs feel like a newborn baby. That's the most important thing. I got to get my lungs back up to a grown man, and my voice is already gone. One day back, barking out calls and assignments and stuff, and getting my voice working again. So, be a lot of tea and rest tonight.
All right, let's welcome in 2 champs who played with LeBron James, Danny Green, Kendrick Perkins. You guys have witnessed many of those milestones, many of those moments.
So many.
The success that he's had, right, Perk? What are you going to be watching in this one?
First of all, the GOAT back on the floor. That's first thing first. The GOAT is back on the floor, the king. Second thing is that, you know what? This Laker team has been looking like eye candy for him. Shams, you just said how he's excited about playing with this roster. But, look, make a mislead. I don't expect him to be just sharp. But the one thing I'm going to be looking at is he ready to get his feet hot? When I say get his feet hot, we know LeBron James has been one of the best, if not the best, transition players in the game. Those first 3 steps getting out. People don't know how when you're training in the offseason, you train in that practice, we overemphasize those first 3 steps, right? And so just how he moving, does he still have that acceleration? And that's what I'm going to be looking at. And once I see that, I'm going to be like, oh, he's doing just fine.
For sure. I think a great sign was the fact that his voice was gone. That lets me know he's ready to go. Because if he's out there quarterbacking, yelling, talking, I know he's kind of feeling comfortable about himself. I got a chance to play with him a little bit, too, myself. Played against him twice in the finals, once with him in the finals.
I was going to say, a little bit. You won a ring with him.
But, yeah, the attention that he draws to the paint, this is what you get out of LeBron James. When you have Luka, you have AR, you get another ball handler and a guy that can bring defense to the paint, which is going to open many more shots for Austin Reeves, even Luka Doncic. Rui, he's shooting at a high clip. I got a couple easy looks, playing with him. You see JJ Redick in the background right there. One a few times I got a chance to kick JJ's ass, but I got a chance to get some open looks playing with LeBron. So these guys got to get many open looks playing with this guy.
Well, and you can see the numbers right here, what LeBron opens up and what the Lakers have been looking to do here as they're trying to push this pace under JJ Redick. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, Shams, but looking at the number of games that the Los Angeles Lakers have left already, the number of games that LeBron has missed, it's the first time in his career he's missed an opening night, and then he missed 14 subsequent games. So he would have to play in 65 of the remaining games for the Los Angeles Lakers here if he wants to qualify for All-NBA. They only have 68 left. Does that play any sort of factor in how he's looking at the season?
I think anytime you have players of LeBron James caliber, and then even Oklahoma City with Jalen Williams, a.k.a. J-Dub, you have to look at that 65-game mark. So you can only miss 17 games to be able to be eligible for All-NBA. And I think to to an extent, it's very much in the recess of these players' minds. No one wants to rush back from return, especially when you're LeBron James and you're 40 years old. You're in year 23. He's not the guy, I think, that's going to rush back out on the court. But listen, if LeBron James is going to make his season debut, and he's moved up to questionable, and he's trying to play tonight, obviously, in his mind, he is there physically to be at that point. No one knows his body better than he does.
And I don't think he gives a damn at this point about individual accolades, because Malik, his resume is longer than a what?
CBS receipt.
A damn CBS receipt. So he don't care about that. I think he believes in this squad. I think whether or not the world believes, he believes that they have a legit shot at trying to go win a championship. And I believe that he's going to make sure he make the cautious and right decisions.
And with LeBron James, we're always reading a couple of tea leaves, and LeBron typically doesn't speak to reporters if the intention isn't to go out there and to be able to play, right? When he spoke to the media yesterday, I said, okay, we're getting there, right? Another story we are following in the NBA today, unfortunately, the injuries are piling up here. Spurs star Victor Wembanyama, he suffered a left calf strain during Friday's loss to Golden State. It was confirmed by an MRI, and unfortunately for all of us, it's going to keep him out for at least 2 weeks. And sometime in 2 to 3 weeks from now, he's going to be reevaluated. Shams, what more can you tell us about Wemby's diagnosis?
The injury was suffered during Friday's game. That was just an unbelievable game to watch against the Golden State Warriors. So think about how high intensive a game that was. Victor Wembanyama doesn't know exactly when that injury occurred during the game, but he felt it afterward. They went through MRIs over the weekend that revealed this strain. The Spurs, historically, Danny Green knows this, they err on the side of caution. They will with Victor Wembanyama. You think about calves, Achilles, groins, hamstrings. These are the types of injuries you want to be careful with. There is optimism, though, within the Spurs that Victor Wembanyama will be back within these weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in that organization. I know how they handle these type of things. They're going to err, like you said, on the side of caution. They're going to take extra time, especially when it's your franchise guy. That doesn't concern me. I think they're going to be fine. I'm more concerned with the Stephen Castle being out, the Dylan Harper's being out. So that's going to, and then them being in the Western Conference, that's going to take a hit for them. But on the bright side, Spurs fans, do not worry. There's been times in the past where we've had multiple guys injured. There was a time where I was hurt. I broke my hand. Kawhi Leonard broke his hand. Same year. That year, we won an NBA championship. We had to develop some guys off the bench like Patty Mills, Corey Joseph, and we're able to close out series like against the Oklahoma City Thunder with Patty Mills and Tony Parker going down. So this is a good opportunity for these young guys to build up some character and build some depth for this group.
I do have a small concern for long term, right? Because history tells us with guys that are 7'4", 7'5", 7'6", how long is their careers have been, right? Like, they don't have those 15, 16-year careers. It'd be more like 8 or 9. Yeah. So when you think about a guy that's 7'7", and yes, he's something that we've never seen before, but again, he's still 7'7". So, you know, anytime he gets injured, it definitely is in the back of my mind and everybody else's mind because of his body frame and his size and his height.
And also, we've talked about the Western Conference. You're having so little room for error here. And the San Antonio Spurs, they got off to such a hot start that they built themselves a little bit of a cushion here. But their next couple of games are going to be facing a lot of Western Conference foes. And, Perk, what do they do? What do teams do more against this Spurs team when Wemby's off the floor? They attack the rim. And so watching teams like I mean, Nikola Jokic is exactly a rim wrecker, but those sorts of teams, Aaron Gordon is, those sorts of teams coming up, like, that's something I'm going to keep an eye on, how that changes without Victor on the floor and if they can keep taking advantage of the padding that they built here in a tough Western Conference. I'm sorry to say we got more injury updates for you, but this is information you need to know because Milwaukee left Cleveland with more than just a loss last night. We do have the latest on the severity of Giannis's injury and what that could mean for Milwaukee. Plus, 3 teams quietly, Perk, changing the shape of the East. The question is, though, which of them that could actually mean a little bit later in the season? And LeBron's on the verge of his 23rd NBA year. Exactly how many players were not even born when he debuted? We're going to reveal that answer right here next on NBA Today. Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he scored 14 points, he had 5 rebounds and 4 assists before leaving Monday's loss to Cleveland in the second quarter with a left groin strain. Now, after the game, Doc Rivers, he said that Giannis is scheduled to undergo an MRI today. So, Shams, what more can you tell us about Giannis's injury?
Well, Giannis Antetokounmpo has undergone an MRI exam for that left groin injury. They're still waiting on the results, the final prognosis of exactly how long Giannis will be out. But anytime you're dealing with groin, especially groin strains, it's going to be measured not just in a day or two, but several days, possibly even weeks. And that's kind of what the Bucks are bracing for right now. This is the only player in the NBA that's averaged 30 points and 10 rebounds per game this season. We know the burden that he's on a nightly basis to carry and lift this Bucks team that's lost its last 2 games.
Yeah, we haven't really seen him have a history of groin injuries here, Danny, but you've dealt with one?
I have experienced one of these, Perk. I don't know if you've ever been through one of these situations, but it's very tricky. And it can go into the abdomen, but for me, back then, I was worried about...
I didn't have abs, but...
For me, it was like, we get back to play. So it was an injury that I had, small strain. We monitored it, but I've kind of rushed back. And I got back in 2 or 3 weeks. I probably should have took an extra week off to take that time. But because back then, you're scared of guys taking your minutes. You wanted to help hoop. I think Kawhi was out during that time. And eventually, toward the end of the season, it turned into a small tear, which some people call osteitis pubis. Now, from doing 2 or 3 weeks to now 2 or 3 months, I had to take the whole summer off of rehabbing. So you got to be very careful because this is a very tricky situation. And at that point, it was a turning point for Danny Green. I know I didn't have a lot of athleticism, but the little that I had, it changed. I was a shot blocker. I could block some shots. At that point, I stopped chasing down shots, but my athleticism changed a lot from the standpoint of having that groin injury.
Because you tried to push yourself back a little too quickly?
Just too quickly. I probably could have used an extra week.
Yeah, we know that Giannis is a super healer, right? Whenever a couple of years ago, when they won the title in 2021, he went down with that hyperextended knee, and you thought that he was going to be done, certainly, at least for the rest of the season, and that's not the way that this turned out. We're hoping for a speedy recovery here for Giannis, who leads the league here in paint points and fast break points, and the Bucks need him. Lots of action, though. Let's go coast to coast on some of it. First up, how about the Cavaliers? Donovan Mitchell poured in 37 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists in that win in Milwaukee. Danny, what stood out to you about this Cavs team?
Sam Merrill. They got guys night in, night out stepping up. Whether it's, Sam Merrill, it's obviously Don. They're doing this with guys out. Max Strus is out. Darius Garland's out. So for them to find ways to win games and stay afloat in the East and be one of the top teams in the East while having bodies out is very impressive.
By the way, Donovan Mitchell will join us tomorrow on NBA Today. How about Detroit basketball? Jalen Duren dominated, 31 points, 15 rebounds. The Pistons defeated the Pacers, 10 straight games they've won now. And Perk, it's Duren's 22nd birthday.
And it's Mr. Nasty time, because that's what he said. That's what they said post game. They the nasty boys, and they're physical. They're a legit threat. Jalen Duren is knocking at the door of being an all-star this year.
How about your Raptors?
Ooh, my Raptors.
They are now won 8 of their last 9 games after starting the season 1-4. What has you fired up about this team?
Everything. Brandon Ingram, he's playing out his mind right now. Scotty Barnes is a baby Giannis, the way he's able to affect the game all across the board. And they're getting production from everybody, and quickly is finally starting to play some good damn basketball.
That's Jurassic Perk for you. Now to Denver. The Bulls handed the Nuggets their first home loss of the season. Jokic had another monster triple-double, but the Bulls held a 66-9 advantage in bench scoring. So, Danny, are you buying the Bulls as a playoff team?
I very much am. They are balling out of control. Even they're doing this without Kobe White. So the fact that they're winning games, Josh Giddey's back. Took a couple games off, but they're balling. Vucevic in the best shape of his life, knocking down big shots at the end of games.
Doesn't help, but doesn't hurt that they're in the East, rather. All right, then there's the champs. SGA, Chet Holmgren led the Thunder to a cool 126-109 win over the reeling Pelicans. OKC is now the 8th defending champion to start a season at 14-1 or better. And the Thunder are on a tear, right? Look at this, their bid to repeat. They're playing at an even better pace than last season. Oklahoma City has the 4th best point differential through 15 games in a season. The only teams better, the 97 Bulls, the 72 Bucks, and the 69 New York Knicks. And they've done this with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander only having played in 6 of the team's 15 fourth quarters this season. We haven't even seen J-Dub yet. Perk, do you think that this Thunder team is better than last year's?
They're going to repeat. They're going to repeat. The fact that they got off to this hot start without their second best player, guys like Alex Caruso being in and out of the lineup, Luke Dort's in and out of the lineup, their depth, again, the deepest team in the league. Now we're seeing guys like A.J. Wilson, who's coming in like he may win 6th man. A.J. Mitchell, excuse me, may win 6th man of the year. Chet Holmgren goes out, Isaiah Hartenstein elevates his game. And SGA, again, is arguably having one of the best seasons of his career, averaging over 32 points, but he's shooting 53% from the field.
And not playing in fourth quarters.
Not playing the first, and leading the league in made 2-point jump shots. again, and step backs. That's crazy.
Yeah, hard to disagree with you there, Perk. I mean, they had a very deep team last year. They only gotten more experience and more mature, and it's very impressive. So for them to be able to have Shea sit fourth quarters and be fresh for the end of the year, but finding gold, and they also own everybody's picks, so they're going to get richer. Right. But finding picks, finding gold like A.J. Mitchell, a guy you said a two-way player for a 3-year deal, he, for me, is one of the most improved players in this league. He's been great for them. They've been able to rest Aaron Wiggins. They've been able to rest Lou Dort. J-Dub, he's the reason why, obviously, SGA MVP caliber player, but he's the reason why in those close games they've been able to stay afloat and play SGA off the ball some. So he's a great two-way player for them, and they're continually finding guys. Isaiah Joe is coming up playing big games. Isaiah Hartenstein, like so many guys have pitched in, but they're just showing that maturity that people questioned last year and experience. They're going to be in the finals for some years to come.
This is a well-oiled machine. I had one team executive tell me yesterday, there's the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then there's everyone else. That's the really dominant run that these Thunder are on. And I said it actually during the finals. When I talk to other sports executives in other sports, the NFL, MLB, they look at the Oklahoma City Thunder as the best positioned franchise in all of sports, because you think about not only right now the players that they have, but Danny Green just mentioned it. They have an obnoxious amount of future assets at their disposal. That's a great word for it, obnoxious amount. They have dozens of first-round picks, second-round picks, draft swaps, things that teams are really drooling for on a daily basis. They have that all while still having these dominant players. They put all their max contract money into Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, so they paid all these guys. But they have so much more. Now, again, that's all going to be used later on when you have to replace guys, unfortunately, eventually. But right now, what they're doing is insane.
And the scary part about it is the motto, the MO in their organization is we got to continue to get better. And that includes Sam Presti.
And you know that better than anyone.
I do.
Oh, well, actually, the motto also was you got to finish your breakfast, and Perk also is familiar.
That's a low blow. That's a low blow to them.
Baggy suit now.
Oh, Perk, I love you. Let's talk about LeBron. He's getting closer to his debut, so we're going to put his 23-year run into perspective. Plus, PG, he made his season debut facing his former team. Did Perk?
Plays well, too. Plays well. They got to win.
We're going to talk about what's happening in Philadelphia. And speaking of chaos, the Knicks and Heat came down to a wild sequence. Why it could be one of the craziest final possessions we've seen all season, we'll show you.
5.
LeBron James appears to be on the verge of his 23rd season of chalk tossing. Tonight, it'll start against the Utah Jazz. Now, the game day tradition has been delayed because James has been recovering from sciatica, that nerve pain on his right side. But the number 23, it isn't just a benchmark number for greatness. It holds power, and it holds a significant barometer, because there have only been a handful of players who have played in 23 seasons, and across other leagues, that longevity is also rare. It's never happened in the NBA, though, prior to LeBron getting there when he makes his debut. And with that historic season debut on the cusp of happening, the league is very different, right, from October 29th, 2003, of course, when LeBron began his career. There are 82 players on active rosters who were born after that night, including Victor Wembanyama, Cooper Flagg, and, of course, Bronny James. So now joining us, our senior reporter, Dave McMenamin. Dave, what more can you tell us about LeBron James' participation at Lakers shoot-around this morning? We know a hurdle that he needed to clear.
Yeah, Malika, well, one thing that was the same back in 2003, Kenan Thompson was also on SNL. He's still on Saturday Night Live, so I guess they're both showing their longevity in entertainment. LeBron was here at the practice facility, went through a full participation at shoot-around, and as Shams reported on the show earlier today, he's going through the afternoon with the intention of playing tonight and making his season debut. So he is basically termed questionable by the team, but guys around the team are talking about him like a game-time decision. So he's going to be getting to the arena tonight with the intention of getting in the lineup. Obviously, sciatica is tricky, and so they don't want to give a full stamp on his participation until he is ready to say so. But certainly he is nearing that comeback, and he's someone who can help the Lakers a lot. You know, they have been missing three-point shooting in particularly this season, and he is a guy who shot close to a career high, 38% from three last year.
Yeah, when we were at that game in Oklahoma City, what did it feel like they were missing? Power was part of it, and that is certainly what LeBron James brings, hopefully tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers. Dave McMenamin, thank you very much. Let's bring it to some court work now, Perk, because one thing you were saying you wanted to see more of between Luka and LeBron was what?
Well, one, Bron being more of a screener.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be the primary ball handler, and we have some footage, and we're going to do a little court work to show to the public how he could be effective. They used to run this play all the time with Kyrie and Bron in Cleveland. Kevin Love used to go to the corner to create the mismatch, and all of a sudden you get it. The defense shifts, and you have this screen in by Jackson Hayes for Austin Reeves to knock down the corner three.
Yeah, and this one, you got a double drag situation with Austin Reeves in it. This is hell to guard. LeBron, because he brings so much attention to detail, or draws so much attention to the paint, you have to respect it. Corner guy has to help. You get open looks from three in the corner because Luka's such a great passer. He can find anybody on the floor at any point in the arena.
So one thing you guys were saying you wanted to see more of, right, was the LeBron and Luka pick and roll. Because it's been devastating here for defenses. And the numbers say that, right? When LeBron screened for Luka, it was the 6th best pick and roll combo in the NBA for the final 3 months of last season. We could see a little bit more of it now, though. So, Perk, why is this so potent?
It's so potent because you got two of the best players in the world running.
Yep.
You have the leading scorer of the league in Luka Doncic, and you have LeBron James, who's just so versatile. So in this court action, Danny, I'm going to need your bow-legged ass to be Demetrius, I got Demetrius. You're going to be a defender because, Malika, you're DeAndre Ayton.
We look exactly
I'm going to put you in your spot.
Dunkers.
I need you on this dunker spot, and I need you to stay there. But to the baseline. This is what they teach. And you're guarding Shams. You're my three-point shooter. You're Austin Reeves, my guy Jason. Hey, you can't turn your back to the ball. I need you defending him, saying ball and man. The ball's over here. So we start off. We have Luka up here. Bron is running into a screen. And when he runs up, now they're going to come and trap Luka. So imagine two guys coming to double-team Luka. Bron slips out, right? And once he slips out, in real time, it's hard for a lot of players to read this, but we're talking about LeBron James. He has 3 options. The first option is all the way to the basket, snatching the screws out the rim. Now, you do have a three-point shooter in this corner, but the golden rule, cardinal sin, is never leave strong side corner. Second option, now he catches it out of the slip. He's driving. DeAndre Ayton, man, steps up. He has the lob threat to DeAndre Ayton for the dunk, right? Okay, cool. Now, the third option. He catches it out of the slip again. Hit me, Danny. He catches it out of the slip. He's driving. DeAndre Ayton, man, steps up. Austin Reeves, man, sits on the legs of taking the lob away. He has the skip pass.
Knock down Shams.
Show what you got, kid.
Oh! 2 for a dollar, yeah.
But here we go.
Show what you got.
I need one more. I need one more.
You got to hit it.
I got that.
There we go. But that's the luxury of having LeBron because he could do so much to affect the game of basketball without just being the primary ball handler to initiate the offense.
Looking to see a little bit more of that if LeBron is, in fact, able to make his season debut here tonight. I don't know if they got as sharp a shooter as we got over here
Austin
in our
Reeves is gonna make the first one.
AR-15 got it.
Let's go from one LA team to another here. Paul George also made his season debut last night against his former team after missing the Sixers' first 12 games of the season. Here on NBA Today, the Spurs, they will face the Grizzlies tonight without Victor Wembanyama, who will miss a minimum of 2 or 3 weeks with a strained left calf. Now, Wemby is averaging 26 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. He also leads the league in blocks per game and